Nityananda Prabhu. Text number 67. Aganyananta Jad Anda Sanivesh Tatarupe Purusha Kore Sabate Prakash. The Purusha enters each and every one of the countless universes. He manifests himself in as many separate forms as there are universes. So first, from Mahavishnu, so many universes are coming out by his breathing from his nostrils, from his pores, innumerable universes. And those universes last for the duration of one breath, exhalation and inhalation. But he also enters into each universe by his expansion of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Then one must think that Garbhodakshay Vishnu must operate on a different frame of reference than Mahavishnu, because for Mahavishnu the universes are only lasting for one breath. But then it's inconceivably he enters into each universe because they're only lasting for one of his breath, like normally it's lasting only for one of my breaths to enter into, like for one of my breaths, I'm even going to enter into a room and come out of the room. I couldn't do that during one breath, but this is all inconceivable Leela of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The Purusha enters into each and every one of the countless universes, manifests himself as many separate forms as there are universes. Purushanasate jabe bahirais shwasa nishvasa sahite hoy brahmanda prakasha. When the Purusha exhales, the universes become manifest with each outward breath. Punarapi shwasa jabe praveshantare shwasa saha brahmanda paise purusha sharire. Thereafter, when he inhales, all the universes again enter his body. In his form as Gananajakshay Vishnu, the Lord impregnates material nature by his glance. The transcendental molecules of that glance are particles of spirit or spiritual atoms, which appear in different species of life according to the seeds of their individual karma from the previous cosmic manifestation. And the Lord himself, by his partial representation, creates a body of innumerable universes and again enters each of those universes of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. His coming in contact with Maya is explained in Bhagavad Gita by a comparison between air and the sky. The sky enters everything material, yet is far away from us. So it is also said that the Lord, while he's breathing out these universes, he's in a state of yoga nidra. So his breathing is very slow and relaxed. Even though it's only one breath, it still gives him time to enter into each universe. Like normally, with one breath, I wouldn't even have time to enter into a room and go out of it. But he's in a state of very calm yoga nidra, and he can enter into each universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Okay. Gavakera Randijena Trasarenu Chale Purushara Loma Kupe Brahmandana Chale. Just as atomic particles of dust pass through the openings of a window, so the networks of universes pass through the pores of the skin of the Purusha. Then I received another question this morning. Someone says, I'm supposed to know the answer, and I can give my answer, but they said, when you offer something like at the time of initiation, does that become prasadam or not? Like the flowers, the cloth, all that. Because we always say, give the flowers give the flowers and the fruit to the deities, right? Was it as a prasadam when it is coming from the basket?
I mean, my answer would be it would depend on what the consciousness or the intent of the Guru was when he received that. Did he offer that to the Lord and then consider it ready to be distributed as prasadam, or did he consider it an ingredient to be offered later and give some instruction for it to be later utilized?
Okay, that's a good answer, because that's kind of my thinking, is just give everything here to the deities. Except, of course, the Lakshmi. But Gurudev used to say to us, we'd give everything to him, and he'd say, I want to give to this temple, but you're not giving me the chance. Gavakera Randre Jena Trasarenu Chale Purushera Lomakupe Brahmandera Jale. Just as atomic particles of dust pass through the openings of a window, so the networks of universes pass through the pores of the skin of the Purusha. Yashaika Nishvasita Kalam Atavalambya Shivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata Vishnur Mahansa Iha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The Brahmas and other lords of the mundane world appear from the pores of the Mahavishnu and remain alive for the duration of his one exhalation. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, for Mahavishnu is a portion of his plenary portion. Vaham tamo mahad aham ka sharagni varbu samveshitat tanda gata sapta vitastikaya kvedrig vida vigan nitanda paranucharya vatanva roma vivarasya chate mahitvam. Where am I? A small creature of 7 spans, the measure of my own hand. I'm enclosed in the universe composed of material nature, the total material energy, false ego, ether, air, water, and earth. And what is your glory? Unlimited universes pass through the pores of your body, just like particles of dust passing through the opening of a window. When Lord Brahma, after having stolen all Krishna's cows and cowherd boys, returned and saw that the cows and boys were still roaming with Krishna, he offered this prayer. In his defeat, a conditioned soul, even one so great as Brahma, who manages the affairs of the entire universe, cannot compare to the personality of God, for he can produce numberless universes simply by the spiritual rays emanating from the pores of his body. Material scientists should take lessons from the utterances of Sri Brahma regarding our insignificance in comparison to God. In these prayers of Brahma, there is much to learn for those who are falsely puffed up by the accumulation of power. Okay. Sharam Ch.ch Kalataranam Govindera Pratimurte Sri Balaram. A part of a whole is called Akala. Akala. Sri Balaram is a counter form of Lord Govinda. So all these things like Mahavishnu, everything, considered Kala, part of a part. Because, they're all coming from Shankar Shant. And there's a quadruple expansion, another quadruple expansion, then the Purusha. So you get the idea that they're, as said, Kala, part of a part. Even though Mahavishnu, nobody can conceive of the vast size of Mahavishnu. If you look out and you see you can't even conceive of the universe. It's inconceivable. And yet that's coming from the breathing of Mahavishnu from his pores. This is a huge expanse that we call a universe, right? Tara ek swarupa Shri Mahashankarshan Tara amsha Purusha hoy Kalate Ganan. Balaram's own expansion is called Mahashankarshan, and his fragment, the Purusha, is counted as a kala, or part of a plenary portion. Jahaketa kala kahe tiho Mahavishnu Mahapurushavatariteho Sarvajishnu. I say that this kala is Mahavishnu. He is the Mahapurush, who is the source of the other Purushas and who is all-pervading. Garboda Shiroda Shahi Dohe Purushanam Sedui Charamsha Vishnu Vishvadam. Garbhodakshai and Shirodakshai are both called Purushas. They are plenary portions of Garbhodakshai and Shirodakshai are both called Purushas. They are plenary portions of Karanodakshai Vishnu. Garbhodakshai and Shirodakshai are both called Purushas. They are plenary portions of Karanodakshai Vishnu. The first Purusha was the abode of all the universes. So, Vishnos tu trini rupani purushakyani ato vidu ekam tu mahata shrastri vidiyam tvandas samstitam tritiyam sarvabhutastam tani gyatva vimuchate. Vishnu has three forms called Purushas. The first, Mahavishnu, is the creator of the total material energy, Mahat. The second is Garbhodakshai, who is situated within each universe. And the third is Shirodakshai, who lives in the heart of every living being. He who knows these three becomes liberated from the clutches of Maya. Yashapi kohi yetare krishnara kalakori Matsya Kurmari Avatare Tiho Avatari. Although Shirodakshai Vishnu is called a Kala of Lord Krishna, he is the source of Matsya Kurma and the other incarnations. Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakalam Lokam Vridiyanti Yuge Yuge. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the Supreme Lord himself. In every age, he protects, or we'll say, the Supreme Personality of God in himself. Here I should use that term. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. In every age, he protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. Shri Purusha Shrishti Stiti Pralayara Karta Nanavatar Kori Jagatera Bharta. The Purusha, that Purusha, Shirodakshai Vishnu, is the performer of creation, maintenance, and destructions. He manifests himself in many incarnations where he is the maintainer of the world. See, here, this is why I was stumbling a little before. Before it was saying Garbhodakshai and Shirodakshai are both called Purushas, and here it says that Purusha, Shirodakshai Vishnu, is the performer of creation, maintenance, and destructions. He manifests himself in many incarnations where he is the maintainer of the world. Okay. So one time they're saying Shirodakshai Vishnu, and the other they're saying Shirodakshai Vishnu. At least here in the written forms.
Shiroda or Shirodaka?
Shiroda, it has one here, it says Garbhodakshai and Shirodakshai are both called Purushas. And here it says that Purusha, Shirodakashayi Vishnu. One is Shiroda and the other is Shirodakshayi. Can you use it either way?
Yeah, same.
Okay, all right. Shrishti-adi nimite jay amshara avadan seta amshare kohe avataranam. That fragment of the Mahapurusha who appears for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and annihilation is called an incarnation. Adya-avatara Mahapurusha Bhagavan Sarva Avatara Bid Sarva Shrayadam. That fragment of the Mahapurusha who appears for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and annihilation is called an incarnation. That Mahapurusha is identical with the personality of Godhead. He is the original incarnation, the seat of all others, and the shelter of everything. Adyo Vatara Purusha Parasya Kala Svabhava Sarasanmanascha Drabjam Vikaro Guna Indriyani Virat Svarat Stasnu Charishnu Bhumna. The Purusha is the primary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Time, nature, and Prakriti as cause and effect, the mind, the material elements, false ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form, complete independence, and the moving and non-moving beings appear subsequently as his opulences. Jagrihe Purusha Rupam Bhagavan Mahad Adibi Sambhutam Shodasa Kalam Adoloka Sisrikshaya. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord expanded himself in the form of the Purusha incarnation, accompanied by all the ingredients of the material creation. First, he created the 16 principal energies suitable for creation. This was for the purpose of manifesting the material universes. Yadyapi sarvashrayati ho tahate samsara antaratma rupeti ho jagat adar. Although the Lord is the shelter of everything, and although all the universes rest in him, he, as the super soul, is also the support of everything. Prakrite sahite tara ubaya sambandha tatapi prakriti saha nahi sparshaganda. Although he is thus connected with the material energy in two ways, he does not have the slightest contact with it. In the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami, commenting upon the Lord's transcendental position beyond the material quality, says that Vishnu, as the controller and superintendent of material nature, has a connection with the material qualities. That connection is called yoga. Although the person who directs a prison is not also a prisoner, I skipped it here. In the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami, commenting upon the Lord's transcendental position beyond the material quality, says that Vishnu, as the controller and superintendent of material nature, has a connection with the material qualities. That connection is called yoga. However, the person who directs a prison is not also a prisoner. Similarly, although the Lord Vishnu directs or supervises the qualitative nature, he has no connection with the material modes of nature. The expansions of Lord Vishnu always retain their supremacy, and they are never connected with the material qualities. One may argue that Mahavishnu cannot have any connection with the material qualities because if he were so connected, Srimad Bhagavatam would not state that material nature, ashamed of her thankless task of acting to induce the living entities to become averse to the Supreme Lord, remains behind the Lord in shyness. In answer to this argument, it may be said that the word guna means regulation. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva are situated within this universe as the directors of the three modes, and their connection with the modes is known as yoga. This does not indicate, however, that these personalities are bound by the qualities of nature. Lord Vishnu specifically is always the controller of the three qualities. There is no question of his coming under their control. Although the causal and element supplying features exist in material nature by dint of the glance of the Lord is never affected by glancing over the material qualities. By the will of the Lord, the different qualitative changes in the material world take place, but there is no possibility of material affection, change, or contamination of Lord Vishnu.
Already beginning to realize that Prabhupada is answering my body conception, right? That Vishnu is very high, but material because he has a form. Something like that.
Yeah. So, you have a question?
No, I just want to confirm that. Understand?
Oh, I didn't. So the question you asked me was that...
Is that correct?
What?
That it's a Maya body conception that Vishnu has a form.
So they're, yeah, obviously, because they don't understand anything about spiritual form. To them, anything that has a form is mundane. Because spirit, Brahman, has to be blob-like. Etadishanam ishasya prakriti stopi tadgunai na yujate sadatmastar yata buddhis tad ashraya. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated within the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and have fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. This is the opulence of the Lord, although situated within the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and have fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. Emata Gita Teha Puna Puna Koi Sarvada Ishwara Tattva Achintya Shakti Hoy. Thus Bhagavad Gita also states again and again that the absolute truth always possesses inconceivable power. Amita Jagate Basi Jagat Amate Na Ami Jagate Basi Na Ama Jagate. I am situated in the material world and the world rests in me, but at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest on me in truth. And these are the kind of logic, or not logic, but statements of the Bhagavad Gita. Srila Sridhar said that many of these statements seem like, what would you call it? Insanity. Like this. But it's all, one can understand it. It's not like, it sounds like insanity, but it all has an explanation. I am situated in the material world, and the world rests in me, but at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest on me in truth. Now we can understand that, but it does sound like insanity. If an ordinary person said that, you would lock him up. You know? Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. The entire manifested creation is therefore resting on the energy of the Lord. Well, one should not therefore presume that the material manifestation is identical with the Lord. A cloud may rest in the sky, but that does not mean that the sky and the cloud are one and the same. Similarly, the quality of material nature and its products are never identical with the Lord. The tendency to lord it over material nature or Maya cannot be a feature of the Lord. When he descends to the material world, he maintains his transcendental nature unaffected by the material qualities. In both the spiritual and material worlds, he is always the controller of all energies. The uncontaminated spiritual nature always exists within him. The Lord appears and disappears in the material world in different features for his pastimes, yet he is the origin of all cosmic manifestations. The material manifestation cannot exist separate from the Lord, yet Lord Vishnu, in spite of his connection with material nature, cannot be subordinate to nature's influence. His original form of eternal bliss and knowledge is never subordinate to the three qualities of material nature. This is a specific feature of the Lord's inconceivable potencies. Achindya Aishvarya Janiyamar Eta Gitararta Kola Parachar. O Arjuna, you should know this as my inconceivable opulence. This is the meaning propagated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Seta Purusha Jara Amshadarinam Chaitanyara Sangise Nityanandaram. That Mahapurusha, Karanodakashayi Vishnu, is known as the plenary part of him who is Lord Nityananda Balaram, the favorite associate of Lord Chaitanya. Eta Navama Shlokar Arta Vivaran Dashama Shlokar Arta Shunadiyaman. I have thus explained the 9th verse, and now I shall explain the 10th. Please listen with rapt attention. Okay, so got to now. Tomorrow we'll start with the 10th. Explanation of the 10th verse, right? Now I shall explain the 10th of the original verses. Yesterday we read the verses of Maharaj, of Kulashekar, right? Sri Kulashekar. We read the last of these verses too, right?
You read number 10 last.
I read number 10, so okay, on number 11. So we're hearing from Sri Prapanna-jivanamritam by Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. This is from the chapter 6, Embracing the Lord's Guardianship. And now, Nitya Parshadapi Sarvatmana Shri Krishna Shrayam Prartayante Manaso Vritayo Nashu Krishna Padambu Jashraya Vacho Bidaya Nirnam Nam Kayastat Pravanadishu Nitya Parshadapi Sarvatmana Shri Krishna Shrayam Prartayante. Even the eternal associates of the Lord pray wholeheartedly for his shelter. And even the eternal associates of the Lord pray wholeheartedly for his shelter. And then the verses, Manaso Vritayo Nashu Krishna Padam Bujashraya Vacho Bidayin Hintir Namnam Kayastad Pravanadishu. O Uddhava, may our thoughts take refuge in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. May our words be the chanting of his holy names, and may our bodies be engaged in making obeisances unto him. Sri Nanda. So this is Nanda Maharaj who's saying this to Uddhava when Uddhava visits Vrindavan. And the Guru Maharaj is saying that even those who are Parsha devotees, the eternal associates of the Lord, such as Krishna's own father, Nanda Maharaj, say, O Uddhava, may our thoughts take refuge in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. May our words be the chanting of his holy names. May our bodies be engaged in making obeisances unto him. Now normally we say that the qualities of Sri Vrindavan Dham is that consciously at every moment, obviously, and I mean just as the general background of the pastimes in Vrindavan, they're not thinking that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They're not doing these things out of a sense of Aishvarya Gyan, that they have knowledge of the opulences of the Lord and His majesty, and they're dealing with Krishna in awe and reverence. That's not the quality of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai at all. In fact, there are verses where Nanda Maharaj is, has a dream in which some Brahmin is reprimanding him. And you do not know that your son is some divine, is a divine son. And who are you to reprimand him? And then Nanda Maharaj said, my son may be, he may be the Lord, he may be a great demigod, but to me he's my son, and if I must teach him. Then there's this mood. But here at the same time, when Uddhava is talking to the residents of Vrindavan, they're expressing this feeling. Braja-lila-sya Shri Krishnasya Palat Katvam Prabhavamayam. They're expressing the feeling that they are taking shelter in Krishna's lotus feet, that they're chanting His holy names and engaged in offering obeisances unto Him. They have that deep, we'll call it deep sharanagati to Krishna. They're surrendered to Krishna. But they're not consciously thinking this all the time while their pastimes are going on, while they're ensuing. That's not their every thought. But this is obviously from the statement, their core understanding. Raja-lila-sya Shri Krishnasya Palat Katvam Prabhavamayam. That's the Dari Matana Nindayas Chakta Nidra Prabhate Nibritta Param Agaram Malavinam Pravishta Mukha Kamala Samirar Ashu Nirvapya Deepan Kavalita Navanita Patu Mam Balakrishna. Okay, Braja-lilaya Shri Krishnasya Palakatvam Prabhavamayam. The most powerful protection is afforded by Sri Krishna, the Lord of divine pastimes in Vrindavan. That child Krishna, who awakening by the sound of butter churning stealthily enters the homes of the cowherd ladies, swiftly blows out the lamps with the breeze of his lotus mouth and devours the fresh butter. May he kindly protect me. The Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya-chandra. Okay. So we heard in the previous verse how all the residents of Vrindavan, they're deep, they're completely surrendered to Krishna. Then how do they maintain their different leelas, where Krishna is their son, Krishna is their friend, that they're playing with him, that they're fighting with Krishna, that they're doing so many activities with Krishna? Well, we see in the pastimes of Mother Yashoda, when Balaram accused Krishna of eating mud, Krishna says, that is not true. I have not eaten mud. You can see, if I have mud, you could see it in my mouth. And then Mother Yashoda says, then open your mouth. And when Krishna opens her mouth, his mouth, then she sees all the universes and everything, even herself within, everything is there in Krishna's mouth. And she's stunned. She's stunned, and she begins offering prayers to Krishna. But then Krishna just increases his yoga maya and then returns to her activities. So Krishna has They know this maybe, but the Lord's sweet, by the Lord's sweet will, everything is going on in Vrindavan naturally, and people are not making a big deal out of Krishna being the Supreme Lord. It's not like the Vaikuntha planets. It's a place of Lila. That's one of the divine qualities of Krishna, that 4 kinds of special features that Lord Vishnu doesn't have. This wonderful and inconceivable Leela that's going on all the time. So, working in the background, the Lord's energies engages everyone. But okay, here's a verse by Lord Chaitanya. The most powerful protection is afforded by Sri Krishna, the Lord of divine pastimes in Vrindavan. That child Krishna, who awakening by the sound of butter churning, stealthily enters the homes of the cowherd ladies, swiftly blows out the lamps with the breeze of his lotus mouth, and devours the fresh butter. May he kindly protect me. Okay. Oh, there's Balaram. Balaram Das, the little Balaram. Sarvata yogyata hinasyapi prapatav vanadikarona na dharma nishtosmi na chatmavedi na bhakti mam stvach charanarabinde akinchano nanya gati sharanya tvatpadamulam sharanam prapadye. Okay. Sarvata yogyata hinasyapi prapatavanadikarona. Even a totally unqualified person is not unfit to surrender. So, here. Even a totally unqualified person is not unfit to surrender. O Supreme Refuge, I am not religious. I do not know the nature of the soul, nor have I any devotion for your holy lotus feet. Therefore I am bereft. I am bereft of all good, and I am bereft of any other shelter. Such as I am, I surrender unto the dust of your lotus feet. Even a totally unqualified person is not unfit to surrender. I'll repeat it again. O Supreme Refuge, I am not religious. I do not know the nature of the soul, nor have I any devotion for your holy lotus feet. Therefore I am bereft. I am bereft of all good, and I am bereft of any other shelter. Such as I am, I surrender unto the dust of your lotus feet. But this surrender is, of course, one can think of one's own disqualification. But this surrender is a surrender out of love. This is what, Yamunacharya is expressing himself in this way, that I'm totally unqualified. But it's not that he's surrendering because of a sense of being forced to surrender. He's surrendering. He understands. He's saying, even though I may be totally unfit, still, I have no other shelter to the Lord. I surrender to Him with all. Despite all my deficiencies, I surrender unto Him. Sri Bhagavata. Excuse me. Sri Bhagavata Kripa Valokanam Evasraya Datrikvam. Sri Bhagavata Kripa Valokanam Evasraya Datritvam Aviveka Gananda Dinmuke Bahuda Sandata Dukavarshini Bhagavan Bhava Turdine Pata Skalitam Mam Avalokaya Chuta Aviveka Gananda Dimuke Bahuda Santata Dukavarshini Bhagavan Bhava Turdine Pata Skalitam Mam avalokayachyuta. The shelter of the Supreme Lord is awarded by his merciful glance. O Lord, spreading darkness in all directions, the clouds of ignorance are constantly raining multifarious calamities. I have lost my way in the storm of material suffering. O infallible Lord, kindly cast your glance upon me. So, these are beautiful prayers by Yamunacharya, and tomorrow we'll continue with these prayers. Yamunacharya. So Guru Maharaj is quoting from, Maharaj Kula Shekhar and Yamunacharya. They're not per se in our sampradaya, but they've composed very beautiful prayers, and they're cited as examples of qualities of surrender, especially in this chapter, embracing the Lord's guardianship, Goptritvevaranam. And he's quoting from the prayers of Maharaj Kula Shekhar and Yamunacharya. So here I'll stop. Let me just read that last. Okay. The shelter of the Supreme Lord is awarded by his merciful glance. So Lord, spreading darkness in all directions, the clouds of ignorance are constantly raining multifarious calamities. I have lost my way in the storm of material suffering. O infallible Lord, kindly cast your glance upon me. It's definitely like that. Shelter of the Supreme Lord is awarded by his merciful glance.